Okay, so welcome back. Today we're going to start to look at another short story, and this one is called The Boy Who Wouldn't Get Out of the Pool. But before we do that, I'd like to recap the two sentence structures that we've been looking at. So the first one is this use of the participle and the participle phrase in how we can extend the visual detail of our writing. And one of the things we noticed about it too was that a comma is usually used to offset that phrase from the rest of the sentence. And we looked at that example from Harry Potter, where it says, pinching his nose, Harry drank the potion down in 2 large gulps. The second structure we looked at was the use of an absolute, which is a combination of a noun and a participle. And we saw these two examples from the story Yellow Belly. His feet pouring, teeth bared. Now, I know that this one is down here is not an ing word, but it is the past participle. The ing ones are actually the present participle, and we can go into past participle in more detail another time. But I just want you to be aware of these structures and how they also work in present and past tenses. Now, really what you should be using these structures for is once you've written a piece, is you're going back over your writing, reviewing it, and seeing where you can extend, the visual detail in appropriate places. Okay, so that's really where I'd be using these techniques. You write like it, but when you're revising it and going over it and editing it, you're including these added brushstrokes. So, as a pre-reading task for the boy who wouldn't get out of the pool, I've got this Word document, this Google document, and it's taken these 4 sentences from the story we're going to look at. Now, what I need you to do is just to underline in that document whether the participle phrase or the absolute phrase, and then I want you to highlight and either option for what you think it is. So I'm just going to exit this presentation and have a look at the worksheet. So this is where it is. So you would come into it, it'll be distributed to you via Google Classroom, and if you thought that that was the absolute, just underline it, and then you would highlight it for me. Okay, as simple as that. Okay, so if you go through that and then submit it, that would be fantastic. So that's what I want us to look at. Now, the second task, there will be a during reading task that we'll have a look at. I'd like you to pause this video right now and complete that exercise. And once you've finished it, come back and finish the rest of this task. Okay, so now we're going to have a look at our during reading exercise, and this is going to use the Adobe Acrobat tool. Okay, so what you'll be using is using the highlighter tool and Acrobat to highlight the sentence structures we've been looking at. So I'll just show you how we do that now. Okay, so once you've got the PDF open, I want you to go up and select the highlighter tool, which is this one here. So once you've selected that, you'll see that it's got that little round circle. Now what I want you to do when you're reading is I want you to highlight those sentences that we've been looking at. So you'd come through and, for example, you'd say, he loved to jump, making the water splash high above him. So as you're reading, I want you to highlight making the water splash high above him. And then what you can do is any others that you find, I would like you to do that with as well. Okay, good luck, and I'll see you in the next part.